I don't know.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
My name is Larry, and this is Eva and Charles. And we wanted to tell our story about how we got into beekeeping. And this hive behind us, we basically found on the side of the road one day. Eva, get away from the entrance. They're going to start swarming around you. We found on the side of the road one day, and I was driving by this hive for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months in the middle of winter. And one day, it was the first day of spring last year, and I said, let me go over there and see what it is, because it looked like a filing cabinet. So I went over there and I picked it up, and sure enough, it was bees, and there was honeybees going in and out of the hive. So that night it got really cold. It was about 20 degrees that night. So I went over there and I picked up this hive and I brought it home. And we didn't really know what we were doing back then, but we were interested and we wanted to learn. So it was on my tailgate for about a week. And then I brought a friend over named Shane, and he said, all right, he gave me a little bit of advice on what to do. So the one thing we want to do is relocate them over here. That was our first mistake, because the bees have very good sensing about direction. And when we moved their home from over there to here, they all started getting really aggressive and swarmy over there because they thought their home had disappeared. And they stayed like that for 2 or 3 days. And the problem with that is at night it would get real cold and they would still be swarming there because they thought they didn't have a home. So we ended up killing, a lot of bees that way. So we always, what I learned was you have to do the 3 mile or 3 foot rule if you wanted to move their home. So that was mistake number 1. You got bees? Yeah, you're gonna have bees on you, bud. So then, we kept the hive. We were treating for mites. We got mentored by Shane. It's fine. We got mentored by Shane and another guy, Gene, and he helped me treat for mites last year. We actually did harvest about 36 pounds of honey, and we were pretty happy with that. So we learned a lot in the last year, and we wanted to share our journey, because the more people that I talk to about beekeeping, the more they're genuinely very interested and they wanted to learn. So I wanted to tell our story. So what we're going to do tomorrow is these bees we overwintered. A couple things about the hive we can point out. We put shims in the back so it was kind of angled just to get the water away from the hive in the winter. And we also put that entrance reducer in the front, because in the winter and as it gets cold in the fall, a lot of bees will look to rob this hive. So if you reduce the entrance in the front, the bees have less room to defend. So that helps them out. We also have that metal cage to keep mice out of it. I also put a sugar block on the top of that second brood box, and that was to make sure they had enough resources, because we did take quite a bit of honey from them in the winter. So that's what we did over the winter. Now what we're going to do tomorrow is, our hive is getting really, really strong. Yeah. So they're actually starting to look like they're going to swarm on us. And what that means is they're outgrowing their habitat. So they're going to want to fly off. The queen's going to want to fly and take a bunch of workers with her to get a new home. And when she does that, she plants a couple of swarm cells so they can raise another queen. Ooh, getting in a tight spot here. Let me suit up real quick.
You almost got stung by me. And we've been having these bees for maybe a year now.
That's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to fool these bees into thinking that they swarmed. Because the pollen flow is very, very heavy right now. So whenever you see a lot of pollen, that queen's going to be stimulated to lay more eggs. And they're just outgrowing this habitat that we have for them. Yeah. So we're going to zoom in real quick.
Guys, make sure you don't step on the bee.
And you can see these guys here. They're coming in.
They're grabbing honey right there. Oh, he just go under there.
Yeah, if you see them flying, get away from the entrance, guys, because I want to show them they're flying in right now, and they're going to have yellow sacs on the back of their legs, if you could see it. I don't obstruct them too much. But what that is pollen. They're storing pollen in their back legs. They're storing pollen in their back legs, and they're bringing it into the hive so that they can store it in their cells. Let's see, I'm trying to find it. Guys, get away from the entrance. There's one right there. See them coming in? A lot of them have pollen. So what the pollen is going to do is it's going to stimulate the queen to lay more eggs, because when the brood hatches, the new workers are going to want that pollen so they can grow, because when they first hatch, the protein makes them grow. After that, they were going to want more honey and reserves to eat so they can grow. But tomorrow we're going to split them. I'm preparing for that now. And the way I'm preparing for that is we're freezing the drawn frames from last year so we can put them in the new hive. And we're going to put a couple trays in a new box on top of the hive. And that's going to give somewhere for the nurse bees to go into, and they can nurse the new young. And our hopes are we're going to put 2 queen excluders in between them. It's going to be called a demarie split, which is French. I did build a new hive here. We built that over the last couple weeks.
It's nice. I helped paint it.
So the kids helped paint it. Yeah. And some of the quality you can buy online isn't really that great. So yeah, that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to split them. I'm going to make some sugar water to feed them. And the bottom box is going to be our established colony. And the top box is hopefully we'll put some fresh brood frames in. And we'll hopefully get another queen there. And once we see some signs of a new queen, we're going to split the boxes, and then we'll have 2 hives. So that's what we're up to. And you know, we'll check in again tomorrow, and hopefully this works. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's it for now.